His name was John, retired, healthy, strong enough to carry his granddaughter on his shoulders. He moved to a quiet town finally. After decades of work, he just wanted time. Then he hurt his knee. Simple surgery, routine, the kind of thing people do every day. But then, infection. Then, clots. Within months, a man who couldn't be slowed down couldn't walk. And then he was gone. His wife left alone. His son fighting his own illness. His granddaughter, first eczema, then a brain tumor. That's 4 people. One family. Destroyed in a few years. Most people would call that bad luck. This book asks a different question. What if it wasn't luck at all? Here's what every doctor learns in medical school. Treat symptoms, manage disease, prescribe drugs. Nutrition? An afterthought. Fat is bad, sugar is fine in moderation, vegetable oil is heart healthy. That's the script. That's what Dr. Catherine Shanahan learned. And then her own health fell apart. So she went back to biochemistry, back to the molecular level, back to how cells actually work. And what she found completely changed how she understood disease. Your genes are not a fixed script. They're more like a system of switches, constantly reading the environment around them, turning on, turning off, adjusting. And the single most powerful signal those switches receive every single day is food. This field is called epigenetics, and it reveals something most doctors never learned. What you eat doesn't just affect your weight. It affects which genes get activated, which get silenced. It shapes your immune system, your fertility, your mental clarity. And here's where it gets wild. It shapes your children. The book calls this genetic wealth. Just like families pass down money, they pass down gene expression patterns. Feed your genes right, and you hand your kids a biological inheritance. Neglect them, and you pass down something else. John's family wasn't just unlucky. They may have been running out of genetic wealth for decades. And they didn't even know it. In the 1930s, a dentist named Weston Price did something no one had done before. He traveled the world, remote Swiss villages, indigenous communities in Canada, tribes in Africa, people eating traditional diets, isolated from processed food. And what he found was extraordinary. Near perfect teeth, wide faces, strong jaws, almost zero chronic disease. Children with broad dental arches, no crowding, no braces needed. Then he came back a generation later. After white flour and sugar arrived, the teeth were crowded, the faces had narrowed, decay appeared. The children of people who ate traditional food, now raised on modern food, looked physically different. In one generation. Now, a plastic surgeon named Stephen Marquardt spent years analyzing the most universally attractive faces across cultures. He built a mathematical mask, geometric ratios found in nature. And those faces that traditional diets produced, they matched. Beauty isn't random, it's developmental precision. And developmental precision depends on what the mother ate, what the father ate, what you ate as a child. This isn't vanity. This is your body showing you its blueprint was followed, or wasn't. John's granddaughter didn't just develop a brain tumor. She was born into a body built by generations of nutritional debt. So what did those traditional diets actually have in common? On the surface, they looked completely different. Fish in Japan, olive oil and cheese in the Mediterranean, organ meats and fermented dairy in rural Europe. But underneath, the same 4 things kept appearing. 1. Fresh, unprocessed plant foods. Greens, colorful vegetables, real food that grew in actual soil. 2. Properly prepared animal foods. Not just muscle meat, organ meats, bone broth, liver, eggs from well-raised animals, rich in fat-soluble vitamins that most people today are severely deficient in. 3. Fermented foods. Alive, full of beneficial bacteria that shape your immune system from the inside. 4. Fresh meat, cooked in stable traditional fats. These aren't trends. These aren't biohacks. They're the same patterns repeated across civilizations for thousands of years. And then, in less than a century, we threw all of it out. Two things dismantled those 4 pillars faster than anything else. The first one is in almost every processed food you've ever eaten. Vegetable oils. Canola, soybean, corn, sunflower. These oils are marketed as heart healthy. They've been promoted for decades. The book argues that vegetable oils may be the single most silent contributor to the explosion in cognitive decline we're seeing right now. The second villain, sugar and refined carbohydrates. Every time blood sugar spikes, your body floods with insulin. Do that enough times, every day, for years, and your cells stop responding. That's insulin resistance. And insulin resistance is the root of almost every chronic disease killing people today. Diabetes, heart disease, certain cancers, even Alzheimer's. Some researchers now call it type 3 diabetes. Cancer cells run almost entirely on sugar. Starve the sugar, you starve the cancer. John's family ate what everyone told them to eat. And their genes were starving the whole time. Here's where this book changes the entire way you think about eating. Stop thinking about food as calories. Calories are almost irrelevant. Food is information. A steak from a grass-fed animal carries information about soil quality, about plant diversity, about that animal's metabolism. A carrot grown in rich, mineral-dense soil carries information drawn from deep in the earth. A packaged snack cooked in refined seed oil and stabilized with chemical additives, it carries distorted information. And your cells read every signal. Two foods can have identical calories. One builds tissue, the other inflames it. This is why calorie counting almost never works long term. You're measuring the wrong thing. The real question isn't how many calories. The real question is, what are these calories telling my genes? And here's something that should give you hope. This isn't about restriction. The patients in Dr. Shanahan's clinic didn't starve. They replaced. Out with vegetable oils. In with olive oil, butter, coconut oil, animal fats. Out with sugar and refined carbs. In with whole foods. Add bone broth. Add fermented foods. Add organ meats if you can handle them. The results were rapid. Clearer skin, stabilized mood, lower blood pressure, fewer migraines, hunger naturally reduced, energy returned. Because when you give genes what they expect, they respond. Here's the part that hit me hardest. This isn't just about your health. The book talks about what it calls the sibling strategy. The idea that preparing your body with nutrient-dense food before conception literally shapes your future children. Fat-soluble vitamins build proper facial and skeletal development. A healthy microbiome, passed from mother to child, shapes immunity and metabolism for life. Children raised on nutrient-dense diets show better attention spans, fewer allergies, stronger immune systems, more balanced growth. The food you eat today is writing a letter to a child who doesn't exist yet. What does that letter say? We live in a world that spends more on healthcare than ever before, while people get sicker than ever before. Cancer rates climb, dementia expands, infertility skyrockets. Autoimmune disorders that didn't exist a century ago now affect millions. Technology can extend life, but it can't restore vitality. Nature, refined over millions of years, is still the most sophisticated system ever built. When we align with it, we tap into something that no pharmaceutical company has ever been able to bottle. The answer was never a miracle supplement. It was never a new drug. It was the food your great-grandmother cooked. John's family didn't know any of this. Most families don't. But you do now. Health is not random. It is responsive. Genes are not destiny. They are participants. Feed them what they expect, and watch what they build. Thank you for watching.
If this content resonated with you, I would appreciate your likes and comments, which help this reach more people who might find it useful.